Let's see if this works. I wish I could have let's see if this works. Yay, this works. And is there sound? Yes, there is sound. Wow, and it's incredibly loud, but better too loud than too quiet. I wish I could have... actually wish I could have the chat on the side, or well, then it would kind of obstruct the view for you and it would take away from the screen space. I wish I could just have the chat of the stream like on my phone. I wonder if there's a way to do that. I bet there's an app, or if I just go on the Twitch page of the stream, there would be a way to just follow the chat. I bet. I just haven't looked it up yet, or couldn't be bothered to Google. If anyone knows of such a feature, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll just command tab back and forth once in a while. Yeah, Twitch app. Okay, apparently there is such a thing. Nice. So the thing is, I just had a shower and I had an idea for a melody in the shower that just went something like... something like that. And then it transposes to... somewhere on that. Let me click that real quick because I don't want to forget about it, and I want to see if it could turn into something cool. Also, I have a second webcam, but it's kind of crap if the light isn't good. I could point it at the keyboard, and then you could also see me play the keyboard. That would be kind of dope. I will try that next time. Thoughts on the Adams A7X? I had them back in Germany. I couldn't take them with me to LA. They were great, but now I have general like 8420s, no, 8240s, and they're great. I couldn't be happier. Okay, let me just click this real quick. And then... something like that. Okay, that's just so I don't forget the melody. Damn it, sidechain between Mike and Ableton is a little slow and dramatic. Right, so yeah, to make this work, I'm using this. So maybe duct volume. So this is how much volume will be left of the mic if Ableton is playing. So I guess I can take this up to like 50%. So that wouldn't be too much. And this is this is the volume needed from Ableton to start ducking. This is the whole setup of this is a little weird. I wish I could just use an actual compressor plugin to create the ducking, but whatever. Also, I have like a little EQ on the mic and a little gate and a little compressor as well. So yeah, I'm doing this with Audio Hijack. I hope it's not too annoying. Maybe it's a little bit better now with less ducking on the mic. We will hear. So, okay, I wrote this down. But I kind of wanted like this tempo. And more of a... I'll just put some stuff on this to make it somewhat of a... just for now. This could be anything could play this melody afterwards. Maybe a vocal or something. Okay, drum-wise, I would like some... Oh yeah, I had this in another project. I need this. I need a nice juicy kick. Maybe a cool snare. This one. This one could be useful. A hi-hat. Nice. And then like some kind of trappy beat. Dun, 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 and like little thingies before the kick. Ba-dum, ba-dum, dum, bam, bam. Okay, something like this, and then I'll just have the hi-hat go through the whole time right now. Hehe. Oh yeah, and I kind of want this little Jack U style flame. The snare is already in pitch, that's cool. F sharp. And then I want this one to be F sharp as well. I kind of want this to be dramatically OTT'd, this little thing, to get the transient out super hard, and then just have it like as a little... Yeah, something like that. Maybe not as loud in the end. And a tiny bit earlier. Also, in the meantime, I'm totally gonna install the Twitch app on my phone right now so I can have the chat right here and not have to all tap all the time, because otherwise I won't read the chat for hours. Oh, I need something to fix. The ducking on the microphone. Oh, what kind of feedback? No. Damn it. So the thing is, with the microphone, I'm gonna turn up the ducking a little bit more. I guess I'll just have to get used to wait. Like, I can't immediately start talking after I played Ableton. And I have to make sure I don't talk at all while it's playing, because nobody will be able to hear me. This ducking thing is really annoying. I need a different way of doing it. Before, I have a second monitor, but then it'll make my laptop go crazy. Before, I used to do this with actually two computers, where I would have the audio from the microphone and the audio from Ableton running through a separate computer. There would be a Cubase session that would be on monitoring mode, and that's where all the ducking, EQing, compressing, whatever would happen. That's why I was able to put like auto-tune on my voice and all that funny shit. But yeah, I'm trying to do it all on one laptop now. That's why I have this strange audio hijack setup and loopback and all kinds of programs to make this work. Oh yeah, Astrali, your remix was tight. That was really cool. Very atmospheric. I really like that. I just plan on making something out of this little idea I had in the shower. Let me look up App Store, Twitch. I hope the microphone ducking is a little better now, and I hope it's not. Okay, so I'll have a look if it's ducking now. Is it bad? Is it okay if I do it like that? If I like pause a little bit after it played? Yeah, this could be drum and bass too, because it's 174. So I need a sub. So let's make a little. Something like that, and then make this just really bare bones a triangle wave with this kind of setting. Oh, also sidechaining. So trigger all the kick drums, all the snares, but the quiet kick drums should not trigger the sidechain, so I'm just going to take those out. Yeah, something like that. Still feedback? Like, in what way? You hear what's coming into the mic from Ableton? From my speakers? Okay, then I'll just turn this all the way down. So other sources will be reduced to this level when docked. So I'll just go on I'll just do 0. And now I'll try again. Is it better now? I wish this would offer a release time or something. There's no, I think there's like a fixed second, which is a little long. I wish this would offer a release. This is so bare bones. Like these effect advanced ducking, but it doesn't really do that much. Like there's not a lot of things to. Oh, okay, it's better. Okay, nice. So okay, so now I just have to make sure I don't talk while it's playing music, because no one will be able to hear me. Okay, now let's change this melody to a vocal sample or something. Under my something like that. I just want, okay, tune it F sharp, natural minor. Now let's add some processing to this. Some OTT, some saturator. More saturator, more OTT, a reverb, rather short reverb. Okay, I kind of want this to have some cool motion. Also, this needs to be green because of OCD. I want this to have some I want this to sort of slide. Could be a little bit. This should be fine. Okay, so to make this slide, I have to put this on a single voice and some portamento, I think. And now something like E. Yeah, you see where this is going. What's in my fat rack? Lots of saturation. Let me turn up the sample rate. I hope this doesn't crash anything. Let's see. And go. Whoa, okay, everything's still working. And little altar boy for the vocals to make him a little darker in their formant. This is sort of what I had in mind with that melody. Let me look in the chat. Someone record? I don't know. Yeah, I should probably record this with OBS, but I don't have a lot of memory on my laptop left, so it would probably be full at some point. Okay, I want to add some fun and this one, just like some atmospheres in the back, but just by themselves. A little boring. They get some OTT off and some LFO tool to give them a rhythm like this. Yeah. This is laggy for no reason. Yeah, something like that. And just cut this off a little. Apply the same chain to this other pad. Hell yeah, and maybe some horn stabs, because why not? Horn stabs are always appreciated from this library. Are you allowed to show that track you had to record a ton of vocals for? No. No, I can't show it, I'm sorry. I cannot show that. It's a secret. It will soon be a secret no longer, but until then, I can show it. Oh, this has to be dark green as well. Oh, it's a different green, isn't it? OCD times 10,000. Okay. Brum. And then dun. Like this. When is that track of yours that everyone is playing in live shows coming out? Which one? I don't know. What track of mine are people playing in live shows? That is good to hear, though, that people are playing songs of mine, but I don't know which one you mean. Did you sample the shower water? No. A pretty piano melody. Yeah, maybe some kind of ARP in the background. That would kind of work. VR sounds like Indian now. Is that what a German accent sounds like an Indian accent? Oh, okay, let's try something different. Yeah, that's gonna come out soon. That one is done now, finally. This could be some kind of layer. But it would be cool, I think, if it was, I don't know, if it had like a vocal for the first couple of bits, and then this part, so it would need, like some kind of lead vocal singing in this part. As sort of the verse, and then there's a build up, and then there's a little fill, and then it just goes into as sort of the main part chorus drop thing. This would almost be enough because it wouldn't really need more. This is kind of nice in the way how simple it is. Maybe if there was a vocal for this, it would be sick to like have it sing some catchphrases here and there, or put some, wow, that's a big mouse, and put some little vocal chops here and there or something. Yeah, the pads would kind of need to follow with their chords. We can totally do that. That is a good point. Someone just said that. Because I kind of want them to change from... And... So D major 7. Let's see if I have some... I can use this. And maybe I can just like... Maybe keep playing but an octave higher. Who knows? Yeah, just like that, so it kind of changes character in the middle. And also that's super dry, so I want to put some delay and reverb on this. How many presets do I have to get in order to join Disciple? I don't know. Just lots of your own good ones. This is your unreleased track, always played live, someone mentioned earlier. Let that load. What do you have on your mastering chain? Nothing. There's nothing on the master right now. No one's playing that live. Reading. It's following the chords, sort of. I mean, the chords are just F minor and D major 7. And this one's D major, and this one's D major, so it's kind of following the chords. Have you considered collabing with Getter? Yeah, maybe, who knows? Yeah, I'm trying to read up on everything. I need to get this thing working on my phone, actually. So, is it just the standard Twitch app, or is it the Twitch Messenger? Probably not the Twitch Messenger, just the standard app. I'm just gonna get that and see if that works. Also, for the main part, I want some more variation in the back here. Maybe we could put in some neuro bass fills as well. And here have... horns have to go along. Is that the note? Should they do... And then maybe... be a nice way to resolve it. With a double chain. I guess it was just busy. These like little breaks could be neuro bassy fills or something. Have I ever heard of Chime? Yeah, of course, that name rings a bell. This sounds nothing like Stardust. Does this sound like something? I don't know. Some vocal shouts, some offbeat haze, you mean? Monitors versus headphones. Of course, monitors. So much better. I mean, but if you're traveling, you have not much of a choice. Do you like Flux Pavilion's music? Yeah, of course. By the way, what's going to happen to all those unreleased songs you sent to the guy that runs unreleased virtual Riot YouTube? Are they just scrapped? Yeah, they're basically all just scrapped. And I don't want them to collect dust in my folders or on my external hard drive, and then my external hard drive to crash, and they will be gone forever. So that YouTube channel is a cool way of just saving them somewhere else, as well as sharing them with everyone who stumbles across that YouTube channel. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I just sent that person another 32 songs from 2010 to 2015 or something that were never released, and most of them never even leaked anywhere. It's just like all kinds of random stuff that will never be finished. Offbeat chance, someone said, and you are goddamn right. I know exactly where my offbeat chants are. Yeah, you can kind of tune it as well. Now it's on the fifth. Hey. Almost. Bam, 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 bam. But it's way too loud. We're just either on the first one. What does that sound like? Breaks on the. Maybe just here. A little quieter, maybe a tiny bit of room, a little bit of OTT, cut off the low. Well, now it's sitting really well, and this is an annoying frequency that I want to get rid of. There we go. Yeah, now it's a lot nicer. Actually can come up again in terms of volume. I should save this. Stream thing. Saved. Oh yeah, it's all about finding those 5 good samples in a sample pack with 10,000 samples. Absolutely. Where did you learn all the music theory? From learning how to play the piano. Mostly. Oh, it's just the longer I stay on the chat page, the bigger the infinity loop becomes. This is amazing. Work with Mr. Bill again. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should hit him up. Will this ever be shown again? What are you talking about? Oh, I don't even know if I bounced that. It's just like some... That's an 8-bar loop of just whatever, some kind of vapor wavy thing. Alright, so Twitch app should be installed. Now let me have a look. If I just search for virtual Riot. Riot music, is this my channel? Where is it? I just want to watch. I just kind of want to watch it on the phone and then be able to look at the chat here. Where is it? Do I just have to look for official virtual Riot maybe? Yeah, there we go. Okay, nice. And chat, and now it's just showing the chat. Beautiful. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, such an improvement. Wow. Please release everything or I'll drown you in crowd and German sausage. Yeah, I'm releasing everything on this. I'm not releasing it, but it's like somewhere on this YouTube channel. Sure, you can DM me on Twitter. Sounds like his voice processed through OTT as well. I have a compressor on the voice here. If that's too much, let me know, because it is doing some work. Wow. -20. I didn't know that was so much. Maybe I can. Is the auto gain on? Okay, so I can just turn this back a little, and it shouldn't be that much. -10 is like fine. Yeah, that's okay. I think. There we go. Should be better now. What's the volume here? Okay, this is peaking here. As long as it's not distorting or anything, it's fine. Oh, now I have to tell my phone to not turn the screen off. A lot of background noise. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, it should at least cut off the background noise if I, because I have a gate in there. Let me listen real quick to what this sounds like. Actually, it should at least cut off the background noise if I... Wow, yeah, that is very compressed, but okay. I hope it's fine for you. This will improve with every other stream I will make, probably, because I still have to learn how to make this all work on one laptop. Also, make this a little slower maybe, so it's not as clicky. Could be a good idea. The whole stream volume is a little over the top. I might just turn this down a tiny bit. That might prevent clipping as well. Just in case. All right. Yay. Okay, so if this was a song, this would be about this long. Might happen over here. Also, rule of thumb for pop songs or for like songs with verse and chorus, try to make the first chorus, happen before the 1 minute mark. Just a little information there. Are you planning on having stream dates like every Wednesday? That would be really cool, but I am not sure if I could do that, because sometimes I have shows on Wednesdays, but not every week, so it would be super on and off. So then I'm like, why should I try to be on a schedule in the first place if I know I won't be able to stick to it, because there might be shows during the week all over the place, or I'll be gone for 2 weeks somewhere else, or like play Australia and whatever for a month, and then it would be really hard to like stay on a schedule. Twitch people actually asked me about if I wanted to do that, and I would really like to, but it's so hard. I'd have to like focus all my attention on this, which would be cool. It would be an option to like actually make this a full-blown, like Xylent did it, like a very elaborate setup with multiple cameras, a view of the keyboard, yeah, like a schedule, maybe even subscribers where it's like, oh, you get premium content, you get like actual lessons on certain topics for if you subscribe for like $5 a month, like all this kind of stuff would be cool. But then I would only be doing this, wouldn't be able to play that much shows anymore, and I probably wouldn't be able to make that much music anymore either. Or well, I would make the music on the stream. I don't know. Then everyone would know about what I would be making. That'd be weird too. Let me turn on the display. Never turn off, please. What's that shirt? That's an Ausma shirt. Okay, nice. Now I can look at the chat up here. Beautiful. This is a lot better. Oh, I am going to Puerto Rico this Friday. Do Disciple have plans to come to South Africa, you mean? Oh no, South America. I don't know yet. Nothing yet. If you could survive off it, maybe I could, but again, it wouldn't really be what I would want to do, like all the time. It would be such a commitment. Oh, I have to get used to looking up here now. Come to Mexico. Book me. Huh. Wouldn't distract you from producing. Yeah. So this would kind of be the intro. And maybe also for the first half, I'd have this off. I'd love to see if I could get a vocal on this. Maybe I have something from years ago that I can just put on this as a placeholder. Also, stupid. Okay. So if this was an intro, this would need filtering. This would have to be a little darker, and then I don't really need the hi-hat. It would actually be really cool to, yeah, already present the melody in the intro like this. Because then when it happens in the drop, you're like, it sounds kind of familiar. Necessary automating here right now, I know. Tracks, 2 different tracks for all these pads. What's the name of application which applying these plugin at your voice? I know what you're asking. This is called Audio Hijack, which is made by the same company that made Soundflower, which Mac users might know. Anyone recording this? I don't know. No. I've tried to find info to book you. Where do I look? On my Facebook, there should be info. It's APA. Is Leo Corson is doing bookings. There should be emails on my Facebook, like under the information page. Yeah, there should be email addresses. Which DAW do you recommend to start producing? Any? Cubase might be a little much, actually. I find Ableton rather easy compared to Cubase sometimes. I'm going to release something like the Throwback EP again. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more melodic tracks soon, absolutely. Are you happy about your switch to Mac? I don't know. I still have to get used to it. I don't know if I like it yet. I honestly have to admit, I miss Harmor and Serum a lot. And there's a really shitty beta of Vocodex as well for Mac, but yeah, I'd love to get those working on the Mac. That'd be great. Then I would probably be fine. The thing I just like most about the MacBook is that it's so light and that the battery lasts a little longer than on the Windows one. But the Windows one I have is definitely a lot more powerful. Okay, if this song was starting, this would sort of filter up. just gonna do the same thing with these two. That makes a lot of sense. Where vocals would start. Nice. Maybe for the intro, I am gonna have this same melody, but with a very subtle sound. I'm just gonna use massive because it's just a very simple sound, and then massive is less hard on the CPU. Also, if vocals start here, it would be cool to have these come in later, so there's like just room for vocals and sub. Are a good female singer, or you know a good female singer, if you want to sing on this, go ahead and send me some stems. Yeah, Citrus, not Serum. I miss Citrus. Citrus and Harmer. Da, 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 da. Still can use Citrus on Mac? How? I don't want to use like a bootcamp or something like that. I know there are betas for the FL Studio plugins on Mac, but I heard they're kind of crappy or buggy or they don't work that well. I don't know. So, I'm thinking about applying at the Pop Academy. Do you have any recommendations? Everything you need to know for the application is on their webpage in English as well, and they have the whole entrance exam as an example, as a PDF on their homepage. You can print it out and like take the entrance exam by yourself at home and like train that way, learn, like get prepared that way. And then the entrance exam is going to be the exact same thing, just with different questions, but the same structure, the same type of questions, like a little bit of melody dictate, rhythm dictate, all kinds of things like that. This is not a hoodie, this is just a shirt. Yeah, I have a PC. Actually, the PC is my main thing. I only got a Mac because someone sat on my laptop screen during tour, so it broke, and I needed something to work on really quickly. And also, collabing with other people who use Macs, yeah, it makes it a lot easier if you have a Mac yourself. So I just got one for those occasions, and now this just became like my travel laptop. And the main one is still here, it's right below it, and I can hook that one up to the screen. And then there's also a beautiful program called Synergy, so I can have one mouse, but the cursor can go from my MacBook screen up to the Windows screen, back and forth, and I can Control C, Control V between the Windows and the Mac laptops. Isn't that amazing? Crazy. So it almost feels like one huge computer, but it's actually two different laptops, and one's Mac and one's Windows. So tight. What's that contact library called? Symphony Series Brass Ensemble. So this is going to be the intro. So now we need softer drums that sort of play the same rhythm though. And yeah, I want like a little... We'll see. I want like a little snap clap thing instead of a big snare, but... Oh, that's actually a nice sample that is in key that we can use here. Let me just... wish this would always have this color. Alright, so something like this. The snare will have to change. Maybe the kick has to be a little softer. It's always really cool to have super soft drums when you want vocals on top, because it'll make it so much easier to understand them. Just imagine some really sexy female vocals over this for now. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I love this function, by the way. This is amazing. I wish Cubase had this, where it's like you can immediately select all the notes that have this velocity, and then it can just delete them. Such a cool thing. Then again, there's a lot of things that Ableton doesn't have that Cubase has. For example, in Cubase, you could just click this little audio event and then drag its corner to create a fade out and a fade in. Just like instantly. If you like, just drag up here. If you drag down here, that's how you would make them longer or shorter. And also, in Cubase, I could select all of these, and when they're all selected and I would make this one shorter, they would all become shorter or longer. So that is very nice to have, but yeah, I just now got used to not doing that anymore. Never let me go vocals, yes. I don't miss Battery 4 now that I'm using Drum Rack, because it's exactly the same, basically, just better because I can immediately apply crazy effect chains to every single cell to route it to different outputs. I mean, Battery offers you a couple of effects, but not everything you want, and not third-party plugins, so this is kind of tight. Battery 4 looks nice, though. And it has a few more options with the multi-samples and all that. I mean, you can sort of do that with the drum rack and the sampler, too. I don't know if you can do round robin. I would like to know that. Check out Parallels for Mac. Would that work for, like, running Ableton on OS X and then running Citrus inside of it? Ableton, I know Ableton has fades, but you can't just click the corner and drag out the fade. You have to Command Alt F and then do this, and then suddenly it auto crossfades. What the fuck? Yeah, it's just a little annoying. I wish it was a tiny bit easier, but this is not a big problem. Pro Q or EQ8? If I'm lazy, I use EQ8. If you want a less phasey result, you should use Pro Q2. But I can tell you all the cool thing to do. So, you know how if you right-click a plugin in Ableton, it has like some hidden functions, like Dynamic Tube has this high quality thing. Same with EQ8. If you right-click the upper bar, it has this oversampling thing, and this is usually not ticked. So you can just load it in, tick this box, and save it as the default preset. So every time you load it, it's gonna be in oversampling mode. It's gonna be a little harder on your CPU, but it's gonna be less phasey and technically sound better. I don't know if you'll actually be able to hear a difference, but technically it's gonna be better for your mixdowns. So just do it. If there's an option to turn on high quality, there's no reason not to if your CPU is capable. Highlight it first, then hit Command Alt F. Yeah. That's exactly what I mean. That's fades. I know, but I can't. I know now I can drag the corner, but it's not always on. That's what I mean. Like, I always have to do that first. In Cubase, it's just always there. You can either make it longer or shorter, or if you hit the corner, you can apply fades straight up. You don't have to hit a keyboard like a combination of keys. Your favorite saturator VST? Maybe the Ableton saturator, because it's pretty nice. Other than that, Softtube saturation knob is actually free, is pretty tight. The Brainworks saturator is pretty nice. For harsher effects, Camel Crusher, rest in peace. Okay, I want to continue on this a little bit. So some Intro impact. Okay, I want like a little bit of immediate silence here. Maybe I shouldn't have the vocal sample then, I don't know. This is where all the tail comes from. And now this is kind of loud for if there was a vocal in the back. Select these two without selecting this guy in the middle. It's just like tiny things. Add ambience. Oh yeah, good idea. But what kind? Like a street ambience? I mean, it's kind of nice for a if there were vocals in the intro, I would kind of like it to be this quiet right here. Then if someone starts singing, they'd be super up close, and then you can slowly start to introduce ambience. Okay, let me add some more things that I'm thinking of. Also, this would be the part where a hi-hat, but I am not sure maybe this exact one because this one is very harsh. Oh yeah, the vocal is from Vocal Foundry. You should have hi-hats come in right when the first snare hit plays with a little reverse. Not the first, but then maybe maybe this one, like the first one in this half. That's a cool idea though. It would, if I do the reverse thing, it would kind of layer, it would kind of be drowned out by all of this. This needs to be on the cymbals track. I remember that there was a cool way of just dragging... Wait, does this work? Let's see. Lights, hi-hat, over here. Bam. Okay, now this is here. But there also... I remember there was a way of just dragging the MIDI over there, and then it would just work. We'll just, like, take out the whole... There. That worked. I'll just copy this, put it in here, or maybe even Oh yeah, sidechaining doesn't work yet. This has to go here. Okay, I kind of want to do the backwards reverse effect thing though. That was a cool idea, so I'll just take this and reverse it and cut off most of its low end. Ooh. 'Cause Okay, way too loud. That's a nice detail. How the hell do you get your music so loud at like 20% volume? And just lots of multiband compression and limiting in the end. Actually, there's nothing on the master right now. Is it clipping in this part? Nah, it's fine. For now, I wouldn't really do anything to the master except for maybe put Pro L on it, so it's not clipping on the dubstep preset. I deleted the hi-hat. This needs to come back. Actually, if we have it from this source, because then it's also getting sidechained. Woo, Command J. So, also, I don't know if I am happy with this snare clap thing yet. Let's see if we can find some cool percussion thing. This one on the right tune, maybe? This one every other... Oh wait, I'm adding them to the wrong drum rack. Yeah, all of these are kind of cool. Or kind of useful. Okay, let's see what we can do with these. So I thought of... Yeah, that one every other time, but it is way too long. This needs to be cut off. And it's not in the right tune. But then it for sure does need some reverb. That one is a little too dissonant. Yeah, that one's kind of cool. Maybe in the second half. I just want to see what it sounds like. Yeah, something like that. And then this one... maybe if it wasn't that loud. Just to give this a cool texture, sort of. To be quieter. Oh yeah, this Nexus delay reverb rack is actually not that complicated. It's I've only used Ableton stock plugins to make it. So what it does is it's basically just a parallel delay and then... Oh no, yeah, like two parallel chains. One of them is delay at 100%, the other one is just dry. But then it's getting modulated afterwards by frequency shifter and chorus, and then afterwards everything goes through a reverb, which is heavily modulated as well. So just for example, wait, I'm just going to put this on a dry saw wave because then the effect is the strongest and most audible. So by default, it kind of sounds like this. So both the reverb and delay are very modulated, and it almost sounds like it has a super saw layer on it. And then I just made this macro that just turns off all modulation in the rack on the delay and the reverb. So now it's going to be like completely solid, very metallic. And I just named it Nexus Delay and Reverb because it reminds me of the sound of the Nexus Delay and Reverb. Oh, where did the trumpets go? Actually, where did the trumpets go? What did I do? Did I push the wrong button? Oh, this somehow. I actually want to see if I have any vocals lying around, because this would make the whole process a little easier. I should go to sleep later. Yeah, later, Mike. Do called Loudpack? Yeah, Loudpack rings a bell. Make Lunar 2.0. I thought the All We Know remix basically was Lunar 2.0, because it sounds a lot like it. It's the same rhythm, the same kind of vibe. So, let me see if I have anything. Stems. Do I have any stems that are drum and bass tempo? I still have the. This is all 140, 150. This is not nice for this. Chasing Ghosts. Chasing Ghosts, yeah, we should use those. Fire J, Kikuchiv, Disarm You, those are all too slow. This one is kind of the right tempo, but it's just very short. 175. Let's see what this sounds like.
I'll ask you one simple question.
Almost in the right pitch.
I'll ask you one simple question.
This could actually be kind of sick. It just needs, like, the vocal is completely unprocessed, so this definitely needs some tuning. On F sharp minor.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
We can stay, don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. Okay, yeah, now we need the whole thing. This is kind of cool. The vocal is a little too soft for what I had in mind. Might still find something else, but for now, this kind of works. Oh, and I'm just going to turn the formants all the way down because I have to pitch her up a semitone, so her voice is going to get a little cuter by default. So let's just do that.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door.
Oh yeah, this is a little very wet for a vocal. I kind of want it to be dry and up close at the beginning.
I'll ask you one simple question.
Also, this is the only thing I have, so I don't think there are any backings in this. No, so okay. First of all, let's get this out of the samples group. I already made sure it goes past the sidechain because I wanted the vocals to stick out of the mix. So I usually never really sidechain vocals. Maybe very, very slightly, or just the backings, or just a choir, or just background vocals. But in this case, this definitely has come through. So, also, this is very mono.
Ask you one simple question.
So I have a little stereo riser that I want to try.
Ask you one simple question.
So what this does, it basically takes the signal and runs it through the impulse response of Valhalla Room with lots of modulation, almost like a chorus, and then it only keeps the side signal, cuts off the lows, and adds it back to the rest. So just add stuff on the side. Almost like the dimension expander in Massive, which also just adds stuff on the side signal. So that's why it's good to use it to make things wider. It won't affect the mids.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. Then you can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
Somewhat like a sophisticated doubler, what I would call it. So I'm just going to use this here, and then maybe just some 20% chorus for good measure to make it a little wider as well.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can dance and you'll be mine.
So this is where the chorus ends, so I'll have to move everything else a little further over there. Oh wait, never mind. Just do it like this. And then this goes away. And then we need this is going to be like some kind of bridge and build up part. Let's save this real quick. Well, what style is this track? Trap or some melodic dubstep? I don't know. Oh yeah, this is Holly Drummond, the vocals. If we want to be hipster, we can add a low layer to this with Alter Boy. We can just mix in a little.
I'll ask you one simple question.
And now just slightly mix this in with like this.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day.
Just add it like a tiny bit because it can help to make weak vocals a little stronger if they're not that low, but you need them kind of lower. It's a nice thing to add. So I'll just have this here. It would be kind of nice if this had upper voicings, like na na na, we can dance the night away, don't forget me when the day. I wonder if we can just duplicate it and do this by pitching it up with Waves Tune, and let's see if that works. So instead of
We can dance
the night,
We can dance the night
is now
We can dance the night away We can dance the night away Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door
exactly. That's exactly what I want. Also, this can get more chorus, and then just mixed in slightly, maybe with some format on this.
We can dance the night away Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door You'll be mine and I'll be yours Nothing less, nothing more Just say you'll stay Stay and dance night away
Yeah, sort of like that. Just a little quieter in the back, but you get it.
We can dance the night away Don't forget me when the day
Now we can dance the night away, don't forget me when the day comes knocking on. Maybe a low one too, yeah, that could work. Let's see if we can make this happen. So instead of we can dance the night, na na na. But it can be, yeah, should be fine.
Don't forget. We can dance the night away.
That's kind of cool.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day. We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Nothing less, nothing more. Just say you'll stay. Stay and dance night away.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That works. I was just thinking of if there's like any other cool voicings to do this, but this is a nice way to do it. Very cheap, but it works.
I'll ask you one simple question.
For let's make a sound. Yeah, reverse reverb and all kinds of stuff for the vocals would be really cool as well. Also, what I like to do too is for like certain words, it's a cool thing to have the vocals on grain delay. But with a +5 pitch, no, +7. Or no, just a +12. Okay, now these they need to sound like super scattered, like that. Why is there still the original pitch in this? I thought dry wet's on 100. Whatever. Something like that, but now drown it out in reverb and delay a lot. And then only like add this in for certain parts or just like just in certain moments.
Will be what I want to hear. You can play
Like that, for example.
what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions.
Or in the breaks. You can play with my motor. And then da, da, da. Just like that.
Emotions. While I
Yeah, that's good for like little breaks. Just like a repetition of this, maybe.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to.
Yeah, sort of like that, but I want it even less to sound like a repetition of the original. So I'll have Alter Boy change the format a lot before it gets shifted. And now it sounds like the original again. I will distort the crap out of it. For the grain delay, maybe? Let's see. Sort of like that. I'm getting there, I'm just messing around. I could even just not use the grain delay and just... I just want this to be like rather distorted. What about this being pitched down? I mean, okay, yeah, that's way too like distorted and loud right now, but you get the idea. Do 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 do. Less of this. This goes over here. It should only be like a very short kind of thing and super tuned. Maybe just the... kind of cool.
I'll ask you one simple question.
Finding the right spot for it.
And pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions.
And in this case, just the my emotions.
While I whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that.
I'll ask you one simple question. And pray the answer will be what I want to hear.
Maybe I can make this. This is very forced with pitch automation, but I want this to do it. Here we go.
While I whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
And then... I'm just going to copy the drums for now, so I have something. Maybe a clap over this. For now. Okay, I should look at the chat once again. Sorry, I was super distracted. The monitors I'm using are Genelec 8240s. Okay, these are just placeholders right now.
We can dance the night away.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, now we need to change up the pattern of the bass. That took a while. Yeah, a few different chords for the build-up that are a little more build-up-y. So I'll get a serum for the bass line under this. And I basically just want to go 4, 5, 6, 5. So...
We can
You know it's the night away, don't forget. Maybe something cooler.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be.
This sounds like 2012 dubstep.
We can dance the night away. Don't.
Wow, 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 wow. Sig wubs. No, I just want this to be like a...
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Nothing less, nothing more. Just say you'll stay. Stay and dance the night away.
Definitely has to build up a lot more. Elements need to get reduced, then this has to get a lot more impact, but you get where this is going.
We can dance the night.
Be softer.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Nothing less, nothing more. Just say you'll stay. Stay and dance.
Okay, I really want some big percussive hits, like stomps and claps for this. Whoops, I don't want a MIDI track, I want an audio track.
We can dance and
Use different ones to switch it up a little.
we can dance the night away.
These are kind of cool.
Can dance the night away. Don't.
They have a bit of an attack that's a little too long for my taste. So you guys go here, then maybe some... These are cool. Okay, I want these two. Yeah. Big claps. Go.
Can dance the night.
They need some fade outs though.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Nothing less, nothing more.
Dun, dun. A little loud in general, but I like them. Very organic. Oh yeah, the clap sounds super stock. That's just a placeholder right now. I just want to get the general idea out real quick, and then I can start replacing things. Also, build-up wise, some uplifter thing. This guy in reverse.
Nothing less, nothing more. Yes, I will stay and dance night to work.
Oh yeah, no boots and claps in this part, and then maybe what do they sound like over the main part here? Sick. I think I would have to put them into a separate group for that part though, but I kind of want to just like have them as a layer for the drums maybe. So I will have 4 new audio tracks that have to go up here above the bass group, and then you guys go on there, and then this becomes a new group which goes through the sidechain. Nah, that's kind of weird. It sounds kind of stupid. I'll cut off a little more. So this is what I would love Cubase for now. If all of these need a fade out, I could just select them all and then drag the upper corner, and then I could give them all a fade out and adjust it for all of them at the same time. Even if I do this, oh, I can't even Command Alt F right now. I can do it like this, but then I can't do them all at the same time. Nah. So instead, right now, I'm just going to use the Reduce Ambience preset in the multiband dynamics, and that's gonna... For sure, a lot more impact on the drums this way. I like that.
Whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can dance the night away. We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes.
Okay, now this part needs to be a lot more interesting. Build-up needs a lot more build-up-y things. What's happening in the chat? Trying to change the fade on each one, not the whole thing. Yeah, like on each one individually. Like I want them all to have a fade out, and like if I drag this point up and down, or if I change the length, I want it to happen for all of them at the same time. And also all of these all together. Even if they have different lengths in Cubase, it would be so if you select all of them and then you do it on the longest one. If I would like drag it over here, it would already drag it all the way through one of the shorter ones, and then I could still keep dragging, and like it wouldn't matter how long they were. It would just be you can do it all at the same time. That was sick. I wish Ableton had that. I mean, I could sort of do that by putting it into simpler and then adjusting the simpler fade out. That would do it for every time I trigger the sample, but that's just not the same. Make a free download for all of us that are in the stream, please. Yeah, I don't know if I get this. I don't think I'll get this done today, but I don't know what to do with this.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget.
I want this little melody here. All right. Make this a nice sound.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day.
Can't be too obnoxious because the vocals still have to come through, so I have to be careful.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine.
By the way, if you want a vocal to cut through more, what you can do to your synths is, first of all, you can look at the vocal and see where the main peaks are in the frequency spectrum. So for this one,
Dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes.
basically here between 500 and 1000 hertz. So you can just take that out and then the vocal will come through more. And another spot is up here at 6 kilohertz where most of the sounds are.
Dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door.
So that will help a lot if you need a sound to come through more. Also, what I want to do is, where is it? Pitch wheel. Where's pitch wheel? All right, group this and then have a parallel where pitch wheel is on the one side. Oh, what I also really like to do, this is a cool thing. So if I have a delay on this, I would parallel this. One version that is pitched up an octave and one normal version. Then only give the pitched up version a delay on 100%. So you're basically adding a delay, but it's pitched up.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be.
Ugly, I know, the clap is very ugly. I still have to find something for that. Oh, and this thing too. It's pretty nice for simple synths to make them a lot more organic. I like that thing a lot. Reading the chat for a bit. OTT with the time knob at 1000%. Yeah. I pitched the vocals with, in this case, it's. Oh wait, what did I pitch the vocals with? You mean the auto-tune is waves tune real time. But the general pitch shifting is just done with the Ableton pitch shift algorithm. How did you make the drop for Never Let Me Go? Just lots of synths in a row that frantically fight for attention. Can you show how you process your groups? There's nothing on the groups right now. These are just folders. These are just, I just use these as folders, except for the drum layer group we just made, where it's like a little bit. And there's nothing on the master either. We can go about mastering this in a bit, just like as a demonstration of how I would master a tune.
I'll ask you one simple question and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be. We can dance the night away.
Yeah, that synth came in a little sudden. I wanted to change that. Just want to see how this all flows into each other. Maybe add some of this for this part.
You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your.
Also, there's some nice atmospheres in here too. One of these, what was this Foley pack that I really liked? Was it Dritic Foley pack? There was kind of key rattle. I remember a sample that was like a dog collar or dog leash, like the metallic rattle of that. Just gonna type in dog and see if anything comes up. Because that was really cool. Nope, that's not it. Damn it, I forgot. It might have been in here. But yeah, that kind of Foley is really cool to put on top of drums as kind of a random percussive element.
I'll ask you one simple question.
Make it really easy on yourself. So I'm just gonna leave it like this, but I'm gonna use an LFO tool to basically do the chopping up for me. So I'm gonna have this on a rather slow speed, and I was just gonna do something like this.
I'll ask you one simple question and pray the answer.
Actually, I need this over here, and then this off, and then on even slower. So it's only like before the snare.
I'll ask you one simple question and pray the answer will be what I want to.
It's kind of always going to be different now because it's this long loop playing, so I can just find the best spot.
Question and pray the answer.
This and this, these two are pretty sick. Or if I was gonna move this just a tiny bit, it's gonna be completely different.
I'll ask you one simple question and pray the.
So that's a nice way to find happy accidents, to get happy accidents. So I'm just gonna copy this. So now it's gonna be two different kinds of pre-clap sounds.
I'll ask you one simple question and pray the.
Oh, and they're in the wrong order.
I'll ask you one simple question. I'll ask you one simple question and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my.
Alright, have this slightly slightly low cut and looped all the way over here.
Can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door.
Bum bum bum. Yeah, it actually needs the double stomp there.
When the day comes.
The vocal tune plugin is called Waves Tune Real Time. Are you a Gorillaz fan? If you are, how do you feel about the new? I haven't heard it yet. Yeah, there's better. I think there's better tuning plugins than the Waves one, though. The Waves one is nice. I would prefer using actual autotune, like Antares autotune, but it requires an iLok dongle, like this USB dongle, and I would buy it and pay for it, if it didn't have the dongle, because I don't want to waste more USB slots on this MacBook, especially since it's one of the new MacBooks that has this horrible USB-C ports, so you can't even plug in a USB, so you can need these adapters, which makes it even worse when it comes to dongles, because it's just such a hassle. I already need the bloody Eli sensor dongle for Pad Shop and Nexus. Actually, Pad Shop and Nexus, we should both use them right now in the song. Every once in a while I notice how having a lot of VST plugins and having like all this at hand makes you sometimes forget all the options you have, and you like limit yourself to, just because you forgot what you forget what's all there, you kind of limit yourself to this narrow amount of tools that you're used to, which can be good because those are the tools you're used to, so you know what you're doing. But then again, it's all about happy accidents. So let me show you Pad Shop, for example. My favorite pad making plugin, and not only pads, but you can make anything with this. So this requires an Eli sensor, for example, but this thing is only $99, which is insane for how good it is. So first of all, it is sample based. There's a sample up here that's being played. By default, there's a sine wave in there, but you can just import anything. So let's take something very, like, that's going to create something impressing, something from the Tokyo soundscapes, like a little loop with piano. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So what it does is it plays just a little part of the sample, like a loop in the simpler, and then you can say, oh, after you've played this little section, and like before the next time you play it again, please move forward across, like scan forward across the sample. Or backwards. And it would move over here, as you can see. But the cool thing is, so I can say, oh, I want a random loop length every time. And I want a random speed, and I want also 8 of these at the same time, randomly spread. So now it's just creating a clutter of, like a big cluster of all these little excerpts of the sample that are being played at different points in the sample. It's 8 voices at the same time. So first of all, now if you add some delay and reverb, a really nice glittery pad. And also what you can do is, you can say, oh, I actually only want this part of the sample being used at all. So now, since this is just a single note in the original sample, it's just this little piano, it's just going to be one pitch, so I can start playing chords. And it's basically sounds like this piano note, but frozen in time. Sometimes when one of the little grains comes across the attack, you can still hear there's a little bling, like a little change in volume. But it basically sounds like a sustained pad, and it even reminds me of a church organ a little bit. I'll put some slight OTT on it to make it a little brighter and a little louder, and some of this delay and reverb chain to make it a little wetter. And then also a cool thing is you can say, oh, I want each of these 8 grains that are playing at the same time to be in a slightly different pitch, so it'll detune like a super saw. That's kind of scary. Or I can say, oh, I want some of these to just be higher by exactly plus 12 semitones, so it's going to add another octave. That was the wrong knob, actually. It has to be this one, pitch. And now it sounds even more like a church organ. I'm just gonna turn this back for now and try out some nice chords with this. Ooh. And also my microphone is very unstable right now. I need to get a new mic stand. Ooh, so pretty. So yeah, that's a cool way of making pads. It's especially fun if you put a vocal into this, because you can just find a little spot in the vocal where whoever is singing just sustains a long note.
Under my feet and I can't runs the same.
I'll just take this. That was kind of scary. You can make lots of scary sounds with this too, especially if you put like a vocal in it and detune it. I think that's sort of what what Noisia used for the tentacles vocal to make it sound like that weird. Microphone is falling apart again. Please just stay like this now, okay, will you? So yeah, now this basically is a little vocal synth. Kind of reminds me of this Amiga Voice Nexus patch, or yeah, these kind of trancey vocal synths. I mean, you could sort of do a similar thing with the Ableton Simpler, but you wouldn't have the 8 voices on top of each other. You wouldn't be able to detune them like this. He's sick for making pads and all kinds of shit. For some reason, that reminds me of Enter Shikari. That kind of sound. So I actually want to use this thing over here and turn that into a pad. Maybe for the build-up. Let's see. So let's use that actually.
Whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the
I'm on the trumpet track. Up here. Also, you have to be green. The right kind of green, please. Because the laptop is doing the streaming, all this audio work, and Ableton at the same time, it's a little laggy, and then sometimes I hit the wrong buttons. Green. Nice. Okay, there we go. So now I want this... Make some nice chords with this. Just like this, so it's like a... No. Yeah, make it as Madeon as possible. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I want to see and try this again, but with a different sample, because there's just, you never really know what it's going to sound like. No, I don't have perfect pitch. So so you never really know what it sounds like after you like actually put the sample in there. So I want something that is a little more percussive but still tonal. Oh, maybe actually something from the percussion. You could actually just take this sample, for example. This would be a good example, I think. Let's see what this does. Ooh. This sounds more like a rainforest kind of thing. Or if you just use this little part here. So yeah, it's just great to experiment with this. Where all these samples bring you. This one's actually pretty cool. I'm just gonna add this as a layer. Just have to make sure it's the right pitch. Three, four, five. Okay, I want this to be slightly less wet and a little more staccato, sort of.
Nothing less, nothing more, just we can dance the night away. Don't forget.
Maybe give this some rhythm with LFO tool. Just like make it pump, like.
Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and
Try. It's still a good layer though. Just gonna leave this in here. Also, Patch Shop can be really cool for making weird things with bass sounds. So if you put a growl or something in there, it can create some interesting results. Let's, for example, use... Using it for like this kind of stuttery effect alone is already pretty cool. To like the tonal delay direction. Spread it, like, I mean, stretch it this way. Yeah, in the end, imagine if you use the standard Ableton tonal algorithm to stretch a sample, it's the exact same method that it stretches it by. It basically just does nothing else but sample would be, if it uses the stretching algorithm, it basically just does that. It like splits it up into tiny 20 millisecond fragments and then plays them back like that. Way to fuck up sounds as well. Fastest way to get this tonal delay effect, just take the simple delay and turn on the link and turn off the sync and put it on like 24. Time kind of changes the pitch. Need effect tricks for that kind of sound. Yay. Make all the rhythm with this. All right, delete that.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what?
A neuro type of bass for these fills, so that's what we're gonna do next. But I'm gonna have a look at the chat first. Why would you like to use drum rack instead of them direct to a channel? I don't like putting MIDI, putting wave files like drums as wave files on an audio track, because what if the song's like almost done, there's 200 kick drums, but I don't like the kick, I want a different one. How do I exchange it? Just I'd have to like do it all by hand. That'd be horrible. And the same thing for the snare and the hi-hats and everything. It is very unusual for me to put like these drums here on tracks already, because it's like slightly different samples every time. These are like all variations. So yeah. What do you plan on doing for the second drop? I don't know yet. Drum and bass? Nah. Can you show us how you made the vocal chops? That was fairly easy. That's just a vocal from Vocal Foundry. I think it is Adlib 12.
Under my feet and I...
where her voice is very sustained, and then I just take this little bit and play it. Yay!
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can...
Okay, now at that point the drums need to get a little more elaborate. At least the snare needs to be a little more... maybe this, but short and more snappy. Wait, let me cut this in half. So now...
You can play with my emotions while
It's almost in pitch.
you can play with my emotions.
This sound horrible. I think this needs a stronger transient. Trans-wide. And then it also needs some EQing before that. Yeah, it was just way too harsh.
You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
Still a little bit.
You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can.
This transition is still super harsh, but yeah, I'm just lining things out. What pack had those great growl bass sounds you used in Pet Shop? No pack, those are mine. I didn't sell them anywhere. Honestly, I expected to have more to say, instead I'm just silently watching his stream. Haha. Yeah, that's... the bass is a little bit delayed, so you can easily extract the snare from it. Important drums. Yeah, those drums are very important. They are very important drums. They always get backstage access at shows. They're very important. What's this? What's that?
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions. What?
Should we add some snares around these, just for good measure?
You can play with my emotions.
Oh yeah, actually...
You can play with my emotions.
that could be cool. Maybe get rid of that one. That's enough already. Nothing too obnoxious. Maybe just some other percussive stuff in the back. I really like the key rattle thing. Maybe we could duplicate this actually and then find another Foley type loop that could have the same purpose. Water splash is kind of cool.
I'll ask you one simple question. I'll ask you one simple question.
Maybe just every other one. So every first one. So here, and here. That's kind of a nice sound. Just this little... put reverb on that to put some accent on it. Some extra attention to detail.
While I whisper sweet nothings in your... I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear.
Could even be a little further to the... towards the snare. Nah! Like here?
I'll ask you...
That's nicer. What kind of program is he using right now? Ableton. It just looks funny. I have a cool skin. It is called LT. But I made a custom version because there was a slight thing that was bugging me, so I changed it. This is the default look. Ah! This kind of hurts my eyes now. I mean, the default look is kind of nice, but the grays are so similar. Like, it's such a similar type of gray everywhere, sort of. It's a little not enough contrast for me. And then the disco one has even less contrast, like the lines and all that. That's like what I want. This is kind of nicer and easy on the eyes. I don't know when the next studio time is. Do you remember me asking for your serum tutorials in Colombia? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. How do you get everything in blue instead of red? That's the skin. How did you make your 808s? They're just... do you mean the kicks? It's just like an actual kick. And a sub. Actually, the sub needs a tiny bit of work because there's some weird high-end. And I just want a tiny bit of ghetto pitch attack, just for that ghetto 808 feeling. Just a tiny bit.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear.
Actually, it would just be fair to give the intro a different kind of sub, because then the drop has like even more contrast. So the intro just gets a standard sine, and also I want the sub to like get quieter, so it needs some decay. And none of these little fancy hits in there. So it's like a lot more simple compared to the drop. Dan, replace.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear. I'll ask you one simple question.
These should also be sustained, otherwise it feels a little hectic with all the pauses, because this is sort of a dreamy intro part.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can.
Nice, that's a little better. Yeah, the LT Ableton skin is on DeviantArt by Pure AV. Isn't that also the guy who did the serum interface design? Not sure. Don't want to spread false information here, but I think so. Try a snare fill on the last bar before the pluck melody. Yeah, that's definitely needs fills in there. Sidechain the sine bass in the intro. Yeah, it's all sidechain. Actually, a very important thing for sidechaining, if you have a sub and you sidechain it, it can easily click. So I have this up. The trigger is down here, and this is what the sidechain is doing. Notice I have this little bit of fade in here. And if I didn't have this, click, of this huge wave, like right at a peak or at a dip, and that's creating a little click, so I give it a little bit of fade in. If you want to be super surgical about it, you can even make a different shape that is back to normal just for the high frequencies, and then just have this fade in for the low frequencies because it's the sub that's clicking. But I am lazy and I don't do that, so I just have it like this. Drums still sound good. So yeah. Finally make a bass sound now.
I'll ask you once.
Zoop, 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 zoop. I just made some new wavetables. I want to try them out. Okay, let's see what we can do with this one. If we squarify him, normalize. That's kind of cool. Okay, that's a cool base to work on. So let's add some effects. So for a nice I need lots of filter movement that I will have to draw. So I want it to be on the snare and then so it has to be a length of half a bar. So I'll just draw in the MIDI first.
I'll ask you one simple question.
So it actually has to. Yeah. D. But also I want some pitch bend action. Okay, loop this. And now we can start working on this. Oh, also I put this on 6, so I have. Oh no, wait. 8th notes makes more sense. That's a nice kind of movement. More pitch movement. Yes, okay, and now this has to sound a lot cooler. This is still not cool. Getting there. Yes. Something like this, like very subtle, but then we can bring it up again with OTT and the fat rack, which consists of, but not limited to, sausage flattener, dimension expander, little radiator, camel fat, Foxango tube amp, and more. Get dirty. I would actually, because also it's clicking. My fault, or is it the fault of this loop? Actually clicking. I'm gonna put this on envelope. Clicking. I would actually, in the end, put an auto filter on this to automate this move again. Ooh, where did that vocoder come from? Actually, a vocoder might be a cool idea. Yeah, I will just go with that. Okay, modulator. Oh, I want vocodex. It's so painful. But it's yeah. What like it doesn't have the same kind of saturation. What's that? It's missing all this top end. Damn it. I don't know. Automation. Yeah, something like that. Does it even need the FM? Kind of cooler without the FM, actually. I'm not sure. Some room or no room? No, none of this, but maybe a little bit of this kind of room. That's kind of nice. Okay, now I just want, I kind of want this sort of distortion. It's very hard to get. Where the top end is super distorted, then there's a dip in the middle, and then the low and mids are super clean, sort of. So I'll, first of all, okay, I'll EQ a little notch into this. And then what I tried this before, and it was kind of cool, and I want to see if this works again. So I'll use an audio effect rack to split this into low and high. But, so I want to distort the highs without distorting the lows. So I'll have a parallel. This is going to be all the low stuff. Somewhat like this. And then on this one, I'm gonna distort the crap out of this. But before that, enhance the sub a lot, take out all these mids, and then after the saturator, gonna cut all the lows. So it's sort of the sound of high frequencies being distorted by lots of sub, but the sub has been cut, so it's not nasty and doesn't clog the whole sound. Noise might help too. And now that's being added back to the original sound. If that makes any sense. And I kind of want this to happen before the OTT, because that's going to sound a lot different as well. Ugh. Nah, now it's kind of nasty. That's not what I wanted. Kind of doesn't work on this one so well because it needs to be. It's kind of better if it's clean. This trick for like a lot of times where you're like, oh, I need more high end distortion on the high end, and it's different than using multiband distortion. This. So let's just dial the rest. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I think. Maybe a little more movement on the filter kind of side, just for shits. Maybe even add a phaser, but just fade it in very slightly. Add An actual phaser. But just a little bit. Marker. If I wanted it to turn to rhythm, this is a very good tool for this. It's almost like tonal delay. Metallic. Not for this purpose, but I really like Corpus. Just wanted to say that.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be.
Actually, the first little womp has to be a little softer. It's up to the last one, and then the last one gets a delay tail. Also, the last one is still a little too high and harsh. That's a lot cooler now, I think. And maybe even more pitch mod. This is not enough, so... The last one is too static. Has to go down more. Sorry, I'm like super... with these kind of sounds, so it takes me ages to like dial every little detail. And then have... we have a delay turn on here, so it goes... If you know what I mean. Oh, and that little click at the end. I don't like that. That. This is not an envelope. This is not an envelope. Now it's a little better. I think I'll just put a gate on it. That should fix it. Now it's gone. And reactivate this. This should come in a little softer. Otherwise, this is going to create a click as well. So many clicks. Yeah, something like that. What does it sound like over here? Cool. I am very happy with this. Maybe a little room. Subtle. Yeah, that's cool.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions.
Actually, this hi-hat is too busy. Straight up, 8 bars into the intro.
You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your...
Would have to be like this, but even now, the sidechain is too much. So, actually I have to go back in here and put it in here.
You can play with my...
This.
You can play with my emotions.
Little fills, we could do like a lot more notes.
While I was
Maybe da 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 da.
while I was
I feel like this da 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 pattern on the hi-hats is kind of gangster, like that.
you can play with my emotions. While I whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can dance the night away.
Wow, these drums are loud. Calm down.
We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be my
Clap is still painful. Oh, this is the worst clap. Where is it? I'm just gonna turn this down and add some reverb on it for now, but there'll be a better way to build this up than just standard claps.
You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Nothing less.
And also, all of these are rather harsh. I'm just gonna move these. Wait, do I want? No, I don't want them to get this group processing. So just get an EQ. This sample is fine, but like these are a little harsh in some ways, and there's some low end on these too that I don't like. And these guys. Yeah, make him a lot nicer this way.
Tonight away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Nothing less, nothing more. Just say you'll stay. Stay and dance the night away.
Yeah, that transition is still a little dodgy. This needs some work.
Stay and dance the night away.
For some reason, For some reason, I thought this would be cooler now. There. Bum. That one doesn't work with the melody, but it kind of sounded a little darker to me this way, and that was kind of nice. Does it work here too? If I idea here. Oh, really? Then I would have to change this. Not do it here, but only in the first half. I just want consistency. There's anything wrong doing it this way for now. I'll just copy this over here, and then I also want the trumpets in this half to become a little louder and maybe get an octave or something. Da, da, da. Just like Oh, this is gonna sound nice. Da. A little bit of OTT on the whole horns. These hi-hats are so loud. Oh god. Horrible with the high trombone? Nope, I like that. I'll keep it. Sorry. And duplicate the drums over here too. I also want another horn layer, because this one by itself is a little weak. This could get a different library layer. Maybe the session horns. Single articulation. Oh yeah, mastering process. We could do that as well. So this on staccatissimo. Yeah. But by default, for some reason, this library is an octave too high, so I have to pitch it down. It's too low already. This library doesn't go that low. All right. Never mind, it's just a little layer. Maybe last but not least, I'm just gonna take like a dirty trap horn sample from Cymatics. Why not? Because they have some. Where is it? Savage drums for trap, brass one shot. Just like one of these. This one should be fine. Just add like a dirty layer below all of this. Oh, damn it. Okay, that's the whole pattern. These notes are really short. I kind of want them to be like a tiny bit longer. This has to go, this has to go. Duplicate this over here. Now get the right pitch. That's low. Yeah, and saturate and OTT the crap out of this to make it like the dark, distorted layer below all the high quality contact libraries. So we have this little bit of dirt under there. That's what I thought. Also, a thing I always really like to do is putting reverb before OTT, just to bring it up a little. Actually is too high. for my taste in this part. Yeah, that's better. It could have like a back and forth call and response between the horns and a chord synth. It would be too much to introduce that straight up in the chorus, I think, but having something like that would be sick. I just want to see, hear what that sounds like. So it'd be and then for this one it has to be it's gonna sound like too much now because it's too many elements going on with this now, but I just want to see what kind of vibe it creates and if it would be worth adding this later. Yeah, sorta, kinda cool. It's too much, of course. Horn stabs are in the wrong place for this right now because it would have to go back and forth in the right way. Right now it's a little much, but you get the point. It would have to be an octave higher and an additional layer like this. Voices. It's kind of a little bit too low. Maybe this way would be cool. But also it is too harsh on the 3.4 kilohertz. It's there, yeah. But that's kind of cool. Would it have to hover like this or like this? Without OTT? Kind of necessary at this point. That'd be a cool thing for the second half of the drop or the second drop, just as an idea. So I will definitely keep this over here for now. Element doing this kind of rhythm though in the back. Or maybe just something on the drums or like an effect that just does. It could just be like a percussive sound or something. Maybe I can find something in here. No, these are just all shakers. Mechanic samples. Big stuff. Now I need kind of strange samples. Maybe something in... I'm just gonna take these out. Oh, that was a good one too. I'm just gonna keep these, right? Where would I... This is all melodic stuff that's not that useful. This is kind of a cool snare for the verse, though.
You can play with my emotions.
It's too loud, but I like it.
Emotions. While I whisper sweet nothings in.
I need the dolphin snare.
You can play with my emotions.
It's so dark. I like it. That's gonna stay. And then this one may be on every other as like a... That's a little too much. If it was like a heavier snare, then that would fit again. Maybe just as a little...
You can play with my
It's very loud.
with my emotion. You can
It would make a cool kick drum layer, actually. Let me try that. Can I just drag this in here? Beautiful. Nice. Okay, get rid of the track, and then just like it's a very tiny kick drum layer, just to give it some character. That'd actually be really cool. So, copy all this. Wait, except for... Wait, Command Z, does this work? If I want to deselect all the weak ones... Nice. Accidental. Oops. Okay, try again. Ah! Almost. Okay, there we go. And now all of these are being copied up there.
You can play with my
And now cut this a lot shorter and a lot quieter. Maybe even pitch it up a little. Then it's automatically faster, which would make it tighter as well. I like to do that for hi-hats as well, where if it's like a closed hi-hat and it's cool, but it's like, I want to make it shorter, just a little bit with a fade out, then I would much rather even pitch it higher because the sound will get fresher and it'll automatically, if you don't warp it, get faster, and then that gives it the same kind of effect. Let's have a look at the chat. The stream will be set for a few days. Yeah, true. I'm sorry that I never really put any effort into saving these, because I'm just always like,
You can play with my emotions.
Actually pitch this into tune.
You can play with my emotions. While I whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
I don't like it.
You can play with my emotions. While I whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
that's kind of cool. This one is still very loud.
My emotions while I whisper sweet nothing.
And this transition is still very heavy. Okay, I'm getting really hungry, and I've been doing this for a while. I didn't even look at how long this has been going on for. 2.5 hours. Holy crap, how is anyone even still here? Who gives a shit about what I do? So I will do a little bit on mastering now, and then that'll be it for today, I think. Any questions? I'm gonna look in the chat. Can please stream it tomorrow again? If I have time, I don't know. What day is it tomorrow? Thursday? I might have time, who knows? Can you explain how you do sidechaining in Ableton? Yeah, I used to use Volume Shaper 4, now it's Shaper Box, but it's basically the exact same thing. So what I do is, I run all my stuff into the groups that they're in, and then all these groups go to the sidechain audio track, which is set on in, so it's actually not playing anything that's on it as an audio track, it's just playing back everything that is being sent to it. And then on here, I have Shaper Box, with this with the sidechain shape on beat one shot MIDI, so it's like MIDI triggered by this little trigger track down here, which is going through sidechain Shaper Box. That's how it's connected, and then I place little MIDI triggers here every time I want the sidechain to be triggered. So I only have one sidechain for everything, not individual ones for all the groups. Yeah, that's how I do that. Sometimes I would automate maybe the strength of the sidechain in here during a build-up or in certain parts, like make it a little softer, make it a little stronger again, but usually I just have one sidechain like that. Okay, so now for the master. Right now it's just a limiter doing a lot of work. Actually, not a lot of work. So I want to do this first with and then without, and then with ozone, because I notice you can get good results without ozone. You just need to EQ, and we can master with Ableton stock plugins. Let's do that. Let's get rid of this. So what I would do at first is EQ8, put it on mid-side mode. So now I switch to side mode and cut off all the low sides, so that if there's sub that is stereo, that's gone now. And then maybe do some very tiny adjustments to the overall thing. So on the mids, maybe rid of a few of these mids here. I really don't like the adaptive Q right now. I don't want that for a mastering EQ. And then another problematic frequency region is up here, like 3.4 kilohertz, because that's where the human ear is the most sensitive. So I like to take out a little bit up here, because then you can turn it up louder and it won't hurt you. So imagine you have white noise, like the same volume on all frequencies, and you turn it up very loud, and you turn it up to the point where it starts hurting you. If you were to take out just a little bit at this spot, the 3.4 kilohertz spot, then you could turn it up even louder without it hurting you. So this way it's kind of easier on the ears. No, I have not been doing cocaine. I don't have a cold. I have, what's it called? What's the English translation for this? Chronic bronchitis. So I basically always have a cold. My nose always runs. Yay. Been thinking that. I was like playing a show and I was like the whole time, because like my nose just kept running, and I was like, are the people in the front row gonna think that I did a huge line of cocaine, playing with my nose the whole time, while I just didn't want my snot to run all over my face and drip on the decks. That would have been horrible. Okay, side EQ, basically the same thing. Easier on the ears with this. Maybe a little more high frequencies on the side. I kind of like doing that. This will just make it sound a lot cleaner because most instruments, especially for pop songs, they have like this dip at 500, 400, 300 hertz, like around that region, because all instruments, like most instruments, have their bass notes there. And a vocal will have its main frequency around there. So that's going to be a lot of stuff happening in that region. So that's going to all add up. So you want an equal mix, so you're going to dip that a little bit. That makes sense. Okay, that's enough mastering EQ for right now. You can look up the Fletcher-Munson curve, actually. I don't know if I made a rack with that I have here. Fletcher-Munson EQ, yeah. So this is the shape that'll make anything more pleasant to the human ear, sort of. It's a little rough because I can only use all these points to make it, but essentially what it means is you are less sensitive to low frequencies and a lot more sensitive to frequencies in this region. This also comes from just the anatomy of our ears, and because of genetic and evolutionary reasons, like breaking twigs and barks in the forest would have this kind of frequency, because in the Stone Age you would have to be like super alert as soon as like an animal tries to sneak up on you and tries to kill you or whatever. Or the sound of babies screaming is in this region as well. That's why it's so annoying. That's why it's so piercing. So I try to anti-baby screech the song with this EQ. Way up, it's way too much though, obviously. Can make it a little nicer. If I unmap the scale, if I do it the other way around, you'll notice it'll immediately be a lot harsher. That's nothing you want. Those are all the frequencies you don't want. I'll just do it a tiny bit. Oh yeah, the cutting above a certain hertz range is just because you're like, no one's gonna hear that anyway. I want to take this energy off the signal. I don't want to confuse any bats that are flying around outside with these supersonic frequencies. If you cut off low, like under 20 hertz, that's actually really cool, because if you have, let's say, a kick drum that just goes, it might have stuff below 20 hertz, and you're not going to hear that, and your speakers at home are not going to play it back. But at a huge festival, the huge speakers, the subs they have there, they can play 5 or 10 hertz frequencies. You're not going to hear them, you might feel them, but it's going to take a lot of energy to produce those, and it's going to affect the rest of the sound because the speaker will be moving a lot. And while it's trying to create these 5-10 hertz frequencies, it has to create the rest of the sub as well. So you just want to take that off to minimize the risk of your song sounding weird on a big system because of subsonic frequencies that fuck up the movement of the subs. So yeah. That's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, I do still use Ozone, absolutely. Just Google Fletcher-Munson if you want this EQ. Just Google it, you'll see the shape. You can recreate it in an EQ. Just do it yourself, it's fine. It's super easy. Actually, do I want a depth Q on this? I don't want a depth Q on this. This is going to be a little nicer. Yeah, that's a lot better, actually. Yeah. Okay, and then multiband compression. So if you want a quick master just with Ableton, take a standard multiband compressor, multiband compression, and OTT, but just put them all at like 20%. Or just like a little bit, like this one at 20, this one at 50, OTT is Actually, it's already such an OTT mix that I don't want a lot more. Another cool thing is the glue compressor make it loud preset. Because it's the release is on auto, so it'll give it a very slow release time. So what it basically just does is, if you have a quiet intro and a loud drop, it'll slightly like dial them to be the same volume. It won't create heavy pumping effects. That's what I like about it. Do you remember the Windows 95 days? Yes, sure. I was using my sister's computer. She had Windows 95, and I was playing Commander Keen, Raptor Call of the Shadows, the pinball, obviously. Was that 95 already? Did that have pinball? But Commander Keen was my absolute favorite. And Bubble Bobble. Is that how you pronounce it? With like friends that you could play with a friend on one computer. That was great. And Scorched Earth. And I remember Heart of Darkness. Oh, that was sick. That was so difficult. Actually, Commander Keen is like still such nostalgia. Anything else? Free DAW, free plugin. Try putting frequency shift on one of your basses and tune it to the frequency of the note being played in JBoyd 50. That's a cool effect. Oh, I have to try that. How to measure the final loudness? Just by A/Bing it to other songs. The loudness comes from both the mix and the master. I mean, the thing is, if you have an unbalanced mix and you try to push it loud in the mastering process, it's gonna start pumping and clipping and distorting way earlier. So if you have a very nice balanced mix, it's gonna be a lot nicer. Also, you don't have to squash it with compression to make it loud. If it's something like this, sounds very squashed. I kind of want to take these off. It sounds very squashed. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of these for now. What you mostly need is just like make sure your levels are right. So in this case, the drums, the sub, and the horn, drums, sub, horns, and vocals are the loudest elements. Everything else, like the hi-hats, the synths, if there's anything in the back, that's like secondary, but you want all of those to be sort of the same loudness, so they all start hitting limiters and compressors at the same time. And then just limit the shit. The sub might actually be a little loud compared to the rest, so this is another nice multiband compressor to use on mastering, in my opinion. Made it a little bit softer on the highs. Most of all, so this limiter won't be able to push it as loud as the ozone limiter before sounding weird. Just as a comparison, we can try this. So where's the ozone 1 isotope? Ozone 7 maximizer. So this is as loud as I would push it with this limiter. It's already fucking up the transients, which are sounding a little bit weird, but with this one, gotta turn it on. I can basically get it twice as loud without it fucking up the transients because it's using better algorithms on which frequencies to suppress. So yeah. Because this is an expensive ass compression algorithm. So basically, we just got it insanely loud without squashing the shit out of it with compressors, which is a good thing. So notice, so I took down the sub with this a little bit, so without it, it's gonna start clipping way earlier. So sub takes up a lot of energy in the final file, in the final audio signal. So taking out a little bit of sub can give you a lot of loudness back, or the other way around. If you sacrifice loudness for dynamic range in your sub, that can also be a nice trade-off if you want a little more fluffy and organic, which I like a lot. So I'll try to find a compromise here. I kind of like this loudness. What you can do to measure it is, first of all, look at this RMS meter over here. This 3 is not bad, so I'll push it a tiny bit more and then export it, and then I would just A/B with other songs, but don't get caught up too much with loudness as long as it sounds good. Programs like applications like iTunes or Spotify already have like this loudness normalization where they detect the average loudness of every song and then dial on the volume knob a little bit to make sure they're all the same perceived loudness. So let's see. Yeah, it's just as loud as this loud as rhythm thing I made. Oh, I don't even know if you're gonna hear it if I play it back here. I totally forgot about that. Because this is not running through this. Or maybe that counts as desktop sound that'll be picked up by OBS? Who knows? I don't know. Wait, let me have a look if this works. That's probably gonna feedback a lot as well. I just wanna A/B it with some other tune from someone else, like the. Absolutely fine. It even has a little more sub and is a little more fluffy. So yeah, -3 RMS is absolutely enough. Just A/B, don't squash it too much. And use a Fletcher-Munson EQ. And then if you have Ozone and you want to be fancy, you can start doing things like an imager where you widen the mids a little. The top range as well a little bit. Just to make it a little wider. That's a cool thing to do. But yeah, other than that, this would be a pretty final type of mixdown in this term. I just don't know about like the drums and. This one, no. I don't want to over OTT this percussion thing because the vocals are already so loud. More about, it's rather more about the volume levels and the relations of that. That's like the most important part, having that dialed. Like knowing what's the main part, what is the main element of your song, how loud does it have to be, how loud do the other elements have to be in relation to it. So yeah. What is add fat? No, that's lots of stuff. That's like 10 plugins in a row. Na, 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 da, da. How many times did you pee during Virtual Riot stream? I can tell you, 0. That's why I'm done now, because I really need to pee and I'm very hungry and my mouth is super dry from all this talking. Woohoo! What's your MacBook specs? I can just show you. I don't have to tell you about this Mac. Can you play the whole thing before you leave? Yeah, sure, but it's not done. It's just like, whatever. Make a barely alive growl. We can do a quick Skrillex growl if you want to. Or next time. Sounds like right now.
I'll ask you one simple question, and pray the answer will be what I want to hear. You can play with my emotions while I whisper sweet nothings in your ear. We can dance the night away. Don't forget me when the day comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Nothing less, nothing more. 'Cause I will stay and dance the night away.
This is not allowed to loop there. And then also there's a repetition of this. That could appear over here. And then the vocal would have to shut up for a bit. Early. Yeah. A third clack drum sample right before the drop. Just some more. Yeah. Yeah, this is also... Do you think export of Ableton sounds different in iTunes? What do you mean? I mean, depends on if you have something on in iTunes, like any queue or whatever. Yeah, I probably will be streaming more in the future, for sure. I just got it set up today again, so I'm very happy about that. Yay. So yeah, this needs to be a lot more dialed, like the build-up, how it goes into the drop, that needs to... The anticipation. It sounds like it's going to be like a fuller, louder drop right now. All this going on, so it has to like be a little smoother with how it goes into this kind of cool drop instead of flashy drop. There was one more thing I wanted to add from the stems before I completely collapse. $175, and that was this. Something for the end part or something when the vocal chops are not playing. It's like really, really nice. And then the na 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 part could start.
You'll be mine and I'll be yours.
Okay, one more thing that I can recommend for mastering. Put a utility or something on your master, and if you think your drop doesn't hit hard enough because the buildup is too loud or the drop is too quiet, then just automate it so the buildup goes slightly more quiet over time, and then the drop is just going to be a little louder. But you could do that after the mastering chain, so it's literally like someone turning up the volume knob, like turning it down during the build up and then turning it up again in the drop, or do it before the mastering chain so it affects the volume, like the input volume for all the compressors. And on top of that, since the utility has a width knob, you could make it go more mono towards the drop, so you won't really notice it that much, but you'll feel it getting thinner and more mono, so the stereo image will get smaller and smaller. You won't really notice it at first, but when it opens up again for the drop, it's going to be that much more of a contrast, so it'll hit you with more strength.
Comes knocking on your door. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Nothing less, nothing more. Just say you'll stay and dance the night away.
That's why the drums are so loud, because they're the hi-hats are so loud because they're on both of these channels. I totally forgot about that. Yay, that's kind of cool. That's a cool result for the first day. I did not expect too much. I didn't want these to be too harsh, so. Also, the vocal could get a synth layer, but we can do that next time. Okay, I already played it all the way through. I know I'm like always adding something and changing something, but we will continue working on this probably. I'll just like not work on this by myself and just always work on this during the stream. That'd be cool to like have a stream song, haha, and then make it a free download at the end. Why not? That'd be cool. Alright, I need to pee and to eat like a normal human being. So, I am very excited for Puerto Rico. How do you make J-pop chords? Lots of 7, 9s, 11s, major 7s, inversions, and crazy shit. Mono or stereo kicks? Mono sub, but the top can be stereo, that's fine. Also, I made some rhythm. Haha. Alright. Yo, Vancouver was tight. That was really cool. That was a cool venue. Oh yeah, I will try the frequency shifter thing. I really like using frequency shifter on growl basses or on like rhythm basses as well. That's always a cool effect, but then you need a separate sub, but it's always worth it. Okay, this was fun. I hope y'all had a good time. I don't even know how many people watched it. I hope this was like interesting for some people at least. And have a good night. I'm gonna make some food. Bye.